What's up, guys? I'm out here in Texas, been here for a couple months, done a little fishing around the house just for like an hour or two. Took a trip to Lake Fork, drove around Lake Fork, got scared. That place is crazy. If you ever go to Lake Fork, man, you got to be careful there. That place is, I've never seen anything like it. You could just destroy your boat and if you just get off track there. It's got tons of trees. But I finally got to go on a fishing trip. I've just been really busy putting everything together in the house. Not just this whole entire giant mess I got in the garage, but the whole house itself and from front to back and everything, and getting all my son's medical stuff set up for him. But finally got to go somewhere, and I picked the lake that's probably the most talked about lake in the U.S. right now to go to, and it's just a few hours from my house. It's called OH And yes, if you guys haven't heard about that place, man, I don't know what planet you're on because it's been everywhere on the internet. People are catching 13 pounders. There was like a 16 pounder caught there. And I just wanted to go pick a place and experience it. And I did. I went out there. It was awesome. I set up camp there. I was there for 2 days. And oh gosh, I don't even know where to begin with this video, but you know, so I launched the boat right away. I noticed that there's just tons of cover, and it's like, I mean, you guys, if you like flipping brush, that's all it is. It's brush for days. I would say for your West Coast guys wondering how big the lake is, I'd say it's about the size of New Maloney's when it's full, and but it's only about 50 feet deep at the most, so most of it's only about 20 to 30 feet deep, and it's just full of trees, the whole thing. There's so much brush. It's crazy. I talked to a couple locals out there, a few local guys at the launch ramp, and they all kind of feel the same way. They're a little upset because the word got out about their lake, and I understand it. I mean, that happens, but you know, out west, it's kind of like if the word gets out, it's a little tiny lake. Out here, man, that place is huge. I mean, there was 50 boats. This one local that told me, he said he's never seen that many boats on the lake that day. There was probably 50, 60 boats in each parking lot. There's only 2 parking lots, so about a little over 100 boats. I didn't have one person fishing near me. I mean, and even if we did, they wouldn't even be able to touch anything I did because there's so much cover. There was just so many places for bass to hide. All the fish I caught the whole time I was there didn't have a hook mark in them. They looked like they'd never been touched before. The place is really amazing. I would compare it on a level of, as far as fish population, like a Clear Lake. Clear Lake, definitely Delta, large population of bass. And this is just based off of 2 days there. I don't know, maybe I hit it just right. But place is really awesome. I was out there, I fished around, chasing fish. Of course, I started off with big swim bait, the G-rig. I had all that going, all the big baits, power fishing, pulling up on points. I would say that the lake is semi-clear. It looks perfect for a swim bait. And then there's a lot of dirty water I found out there too, but started fishing the big swim baits, throw them around, getting blasted by 2 and 4 pounders, just kind of shooting up and just slapping at that stuff. And no, I don't know, I just couldn't get it. I've seen that before where it's just like smaller ones are just kind of attacking it, get short hookups. Wasn't really having a whole lot of luck, but I did roll through this one area. I had these couple of coves that ran out and points that ran out right to the main channel cut. And that's where I saw some giants following my bait. I mean, there were some big suckers following it, guys. I mean, I was throwing the obviously like that big Depth 250. There's the G-rig and that little trout thing there. And I was rotating through a bunch of S-wavers as well. I was just trying to see if I could get them because they were always following it. But one area had these huge bass. I saw one that was probably, I don't know, mid to high teens, follow my bait. You know, they didn't look very aggressive. All the fish just kind of floating behind it. I could see probably about 8 feet down. And yeah, they all seem to be coming off of these suspended trees that were just offshore in about 12 feet of water to 15 feet of water, kind of coming off of there. So what I did was I went back later in the afternoon, right around like 2 o'clock, came back through there, but instead of throwing the swim bait, I stayed far as I could from them and like long bombed some 6 and 7 inch Senkos in there, and with 20-pound fluorocarbon and 20-pound Seagoy. I probably should have been using some type of braid, 30-pound braid or something, because man, this cover is gnarly over here. The trees, a little twig that's like skin in my finger is like so hard to break. I mean, this stuff is some tough wood, and there was a lot of it. So anyways, I should have been throwing some heavier line because I pulled in this one cove, and this is a fish story, of course. You got the fish story, but I throw in there, I flip in there, the Senko sinks. I'm thinking probably about 12 feet down in this tree, and boom, gets smoked. I cracked that fish, set the hook, line just, I mean, right away the line just took off peeling. A 20-pound. I was like, oh man, I thought my line was gonna break, so I kind of backed my drag off just a second. I couldn't do anything, and it peeled line, probably ran through 2 more trees, and it just snapped me. Like, I never even gained on it at all. And I was like, oh my gosh, had to have been one of those giant fish that I saw in that area. I mean, back when I saw 6 big fish that were like double-digit fish in this one little section follow my bait. So I knew right there that there were some big ones. And that just proved, I was like, no way. And then that reminded me to turn the camera on the back, and the camera on my chesty camera, and I got all set up, and good thing I did, because I turned around the corner and then this happened. Oh, baby. Come here, baby. Come here. Yeah! Oh my God! Woo! Look at that! Oh man! On a Senko, baby! Big old girl. That's gotta be close to 10, at least 9. Man. Sorry, girl, let me sit you down there for a minute. All right, so as you can tell, I was super pumped. I mean, that was a beautiful fish. First true double digit in Texas. I fished Lake Falcon. I've caught some big ones out of there back in the day. It's probably been about 15 years since I fished any Texas water, but did catch some big ones down there, but nothing like this. It was a 10-pounder. Right when I caught the fish, I weighed it. It weighed 10 pounds, 10.76 on my Rapala, this Rapala digital scale that I have, which was a little light. And then I realized I didn't capture that weight, so I had it in my live well for a little bit before I let it go. I actually checked to make sure that I got the video of me holding it up and weighing it, and then so I did, and then now, of course, after that, it spit up a giant gizzard shad and some crawdads in my live well. So it lost a little bit of weight, but it still is 10.5 or 10.4, so I don't care. It's 10-pounder, you know. It was an awesome fish. It was beautiful bass. Let her go. She swam off. I couldn't believe it. It was like one of those things you tell yourself, all right, I'm going here to catch a 10-pounder, and then it happens. That doesn't happen that often when you tell yourself you're gonna go catch one. So yeah, it was good to get out. Caught some beautiful fish out there. I think the next biggest one was probably around 7 pounds, but I had plenty of fish between 3 to 5 pounds, and caught some good fish on a chatterbait the next day. It was pretty fun. It's a lot like Clear Lake. There's a lot of big ones, but I really feel, and this is only 2 days of fishing that place, I feel like there's a strong population of 3 to 5 pounders mixed in, and then I think there's this population of these gigantics in there. All these ones these guys are catching and locking into. The fish look really healthy. Definitely pure Florida strain bass. I don't really see any northern in them at all. And they're just big, giant, mean fish and some big, mean brush. But if you guys get a chance, go to O.H. Ivy, get yourself some big Senkos. So this is a 6-inch Senko. I was using one with a little red flake, like any kind of red flake in it. I don't think it matters. I think you just need to get a big Senko to sink down in there. You might need to stick a little piece of lead nail in there, like, or you can use a little tungsten little nail piece, but mostly the little piece of lead. Break off a little piece and stick it in there with that 20-pound test. Kind of creates a lot of drag. I feel like that Senko, even if it's a 7-inch Senko, it doesn't get that like full motion that it's kicking. And I was wacky worming all of them. When I'm fishing trees, I'm wacky worming because it keeps it going straight vertical instead of it swinging out through the limbs. So a couple little tips for you. I can't wait to go back. I'm going back with my buddy Sig Taylor, and man, that guy's caught some huge fish too out in California. And all you guys from California, you know who Sig Taylor is. He's getting back into fishing, and really excited to hang out with my buddy for 3 or 4 days and just go out there and hopefully catch some other big ones. I don't care. It'd just be fun to go out there and fish. But looking forward to making more videos. Like, again, once I get settled in, I'll have more time. I got lakes right next to me. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. I got a ton of exciting news for you guys coming up for the fishing world, for Tara and I, moving into the end of this year and into the next year. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I talked too much, but anyways, thank you. See you guys. Don't forget to go buy yourself some big, giant Senkos if you go to Texas. All right, later.